Okay, there we go. Again, if you're here and you could comment, that would help me a lot to know who's here. Today I'm going to show you 6 different accessories that I've bought out of the mini catalog so that you can see if you're going to need them, because I kind of find them pretty essential and things. So I'm just going to wait one more minute to see if somebody... I'm fixing my camera again. I'm always playing with it. You need to see more all the way to the bottom of my grid paper. This is one of the hardest things for me. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just going to notice stay more at the top. All right. I am just going to ignore it if it's a little bit crooked. My name is Debbie Broughton, and I am your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. And I'm so glad that you could join me this afternoon, because I'm going to show you some accessories from the mini catalog, July to December of 2022. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, what should I start with? I think I'm going to start with this, with the Essential. It's called the Embossing Additional Toolkit. We used to sell something like this years ago, but they kind of brought it back. So here's what you get in the kit. And I'm going to tell you that it is on page 49 of the catalog, of the mini catalog. So, what you get in the kit is a brush, an embossing buddy, and a pair of reverse scissors. So, let me show you how this is going to work. I really need for you to be able to see more of my area. Hold on. I know I'm probably making everybody dizzy with how many times I'm changing this, but I want you to be able to see there we go. Now you can see a little bit more of my area, so I'm not cutting half the tray off. And so I will show you how this is going to work. Now, in order to show you how this is going to work, I'm going to have to emboss something. So I am going to have a project for tomorrow, so I'm just going to go ahead and emboss that today. It is the Christmas tree from the Lights Aglow set. First, I'm going to ink up. Now, the reason I'm doing it in the Stamparatus is because it's going to be on watercolor paper, and that is very textured. So I want to have it on the Stamparatus so that if I need to stamp it twice, I'll get it right in the same spot. You can't even see my... I'm going to put it like this. Then you can see it better. So here's my watercolor paper. And I'm going to ink up my Christmas tree here. And then I'm going to stamp it. Now with the watercolor paper too, I'm going to kind of push a little bit harder than I normally would just because of the textured surface. So I kind of look at it and it's really hard to see. But we're going to hope that we're just going to do it one more time just to be sure. Now I moved my paper, so I'm not for sure if it's going to be exactly lined up, but hopefully it is. Okay, so now we're going to take this out of the stamp apparatus so I can move this to the other side. Out of the way. And I'm going to lay this down here in my tray. I forgot the very first step because I always forget this. You can use your emboss. I should have used the embossing buddy so that I don't get extra Versamark or extra embossing powder in places I don't want it because of static electricity. So next time, first do that, then stamp it, and now we're going to emboss it. So I'm going to use some white embossing powder here, and I'm just going to kind of put it generally over the spot that I used. Well, nobody's here yet, but maybe somebody will come and join us. So now I kind of look at it and then, oh, it didn't get the star very well. So maybe I can put some more embossing. Maybe I didn't even get enough. I did not get enough Versamark. So this is now embossed. And I will have to do it again anyway because I didn't get enough of the star. Is kind of like halfway there. Unless I might do something else with the star. So let's just say I had a little bit of extra powder here. I could use this brush to get it off with, just to be careful not to get the tree. I'm going to see if I can put a new star on there with something else later. So I'm going to lay that aside for right now. Then I'm going to take my little tray here. And I'm going to take my jar of embossing powder. This just saves looking for another piece of paper or anything. You just have everything right together here. And then I'm going to use my brush. Hopefully you can see how I'm using my brush to get all the extra powder down to this hole down here where I can brush it out into the jar. It just takes a little bit. Well, you know, embossing powder lasts so long because you actually use so little of it. Okay. So, I got a little bit stuck here inside the little spout here. I want to get that off. And so there we go. So that is my first accessory that I wanted to show you. Now I want to show you, this is like kind of like an extra thing that you can do with these reverse tweezers here. So I have this piece of cardstock and I want to tie a ribbon right around the middle. So I'm going to take it. I've already cut it. Get it even. And then I'm going to do my loopy here to make the first part of a bow. I'm going to tighten it. And then I'm going to hold it tight, and I'm going to take my reverse scissors, my reverse tweezers, and hold it. And then I have 2 free hands to make the bow. And then you can play with it after you get it made to get it to look the way you want. I got my loops way too big, so I'm just going to fix that. Take out the tweezers and then play with my bow some more just to get it to look the way I want. But much easier, somehow this, much easier than usually trying to hold that part down and do a bow. So there we go. I'd trim off the ends here and I'd have a perfect bow. So that's kind of an extra thing that you can do with it. All right. So let's move on to our next item, which is in the annual catalog. Let me find that. I thought they were all from the mini, but I forgot this one came from the large. So this is the accessories, and this is I'm not for sure what page this is on, so let me just look if I can find it real quick, but it is in here. In embossing. So let's look on page 128. I should have had this looked up already. I'm sorry. Well, what this is masking paper. I thought it would be here in the embossing part, but I do not see it. I see the Wink of Stella, the heat tool, the daubers. Okay. So, this is Stampin' Up! Masking paper. And what you can do with this, I have a sample here. This is like what a sheet would look like. And it's going to be sticky on one side because you're going to peel the back off. So I'm going to show you how this works with some of the Happiness Abounds stamp set. So first I'm just going to use the same paper. Here's what it looks like when it's finished. So what I did was I stamped the rose here in the corner. And then I wanted to make it look like there were some other roses right next to it. So see, it's stuck to this packaging now. So what I did is I took a sheet of this masking paper and I cut off a piece that was just big enough for my die. And I used the die that matches this rose. And I cut out a piece, I peeled off the back, and now I can stick this right over, and it'll just lay flat right there. Much easier than trying to use the edge of the Post-it note or anything like that. If anybody's here, if you say hi, I will be able to know I am not talking to myself. Then I'm going to put another one there, and I'm going to put another one over here. And when I take this off, this is the second time. So right there, now you have 3 roses, and they're not overlapping, and you can color them different colors, which is, voila, what I did on this side with my blends. So that's very much more convenient than trying to use the edge of a Post-it note, or sometimes I used to put the multi-purpose glue on the back and make my own stickers. But this works very well. And I will have to put in the comments what page it's on in the large catalog. I'm sorry, I thought everything I got was out of the mini. All right, now moving on to the next item, which would be, this is in the mini, and we had this before, and now they brought it back. So let's look again on this page. It's on page 43. It comes with the gnomes, and it is the Snowfall Accents Puff Paint. So I just want to show you an idea that I did with it with the gnomes. Here is a sample of what I did, and I did 3 times. I reapplied the Snowfall Accents Puff Paint and heated it, then applied it again just to build it up enough for his beard. And then I put one little pom-pom on the top of his hat. So I cut out some more pieces here so I could kind of show you how I did that. And I use the low setting on my heat gun when I go to heat this, just so that I don't overheat it. You need it to be kind of thick in order to puff. If it's too thin, it doesn't really want to puff, and that was my problem. The first time I tried this, I had it too thin, so then I had to go back and fill in some spaces. But now I kind of know that rule, so I'm going to try to do better this time with filling it in. And when I get it filled in, I'm going to step away so that I don't have my heat tool over here where it can make such a loud noise on the video. So I'll have to step out of the camera area just for a minute to heat it. But it won't take, see, this time I'm putting it on much thicker than I did last time. Just so maybe I can get away with one application of it. So here comes another job for our tweezers. I'm going to pick this up and carry it over to my embossing table. Okay. Now I have that ready. And this time, since I put it on thicker than my first try, it turned out much nicer than this one did on my first try, because that's 3 tries. But this time it turned out good with just 1 try. I'm going to get my multi-purpose glue and then glue my nose in. I just love these little gnomes. They're so cute. And these are, the puff paint is on sale this week from today until midnight next Wednesday. The puff paint is on sale. You want to check that out. And did you know on these little beards, there's this little place where you can put the hats? It kind of marks it for you. So you know where to put your glue. So there's his hat. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on his feet here. I think I put his hat on backwards. I did. The stitching looks better on the other side. So I'm going to fix his feet underneath. Now, for this one, because I'm going to show you another accessory item from the mini catalog for his hat. And that is these flat jingle bells. They are just so cute. So see, here's what they look like. And I'm just going to get a glue dot here. So I'm just going to take this glue dot, put it on the back of my jingle bell, and put the jingle bell up here at the top of his hat. Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and tie a string or a bow or something through this little hoop here, but I'm just going to kind of leave it like it's dangling on his hat. So you could either put a puff as like a puffy ball at the end of his hat, or you could put a flat jingle bell. These also be great on other things too, like maybe the train. I have the train here, so for something else I'm going to show you, but look, if you just took this bell and added it right here on the front, wouldn't that be so cute? Like it's got a jingle bell. That is just so cute. Okay, so let's move on to our next. I'm just going to kind of lay these over here, my puffy things. Okay, so now I want to show you, these are Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics. So let's get my mini catalog back up here and see what page they're on. They are on page 59. Here they are right here. And they are $15 for 3 1-ounce bottles. And I'm going to show you what you can do with them. So I'm going to take back my, I thought I had a piece of white here. Oh, I do. Here it is. Okay, so here's what these can do. I just have this scrap of white here I'm going to show you. You can make your own enamel dots. So this is the red. I'm just going to shake it a little. And then I'm going to squeeze it on here. And I can make my dot be as small are as big as I like. The point kind of slowly melts back down into the paper. So you can make red ones. You can, how pretty to decorate the lights aglow Christmas trees or any of the different trees, or just to add, it doesn't even have to be for Christmas. It could just be for the penguins or anything, for a birthday card, just to add. So you can add some red enamel dots, some silver ones, or some white ones. And they take a little while to dry. You know, it all depends on how big or how small they are. So these really kind of look like little pearls. Or if you wanted to, you could even like make a line with it on something. So this is what I did for my class, that if you ordered $50 during the month of August, you get a free class. So one of my cards they're making is this train card, and so I cut out the little puffs for the engine, and then I used this pearlized white, and I just kind of went over to give them a little texture for a little extra look, like maybe smoke. And I think I am going to go ahead and add the jingle bell to the train, because that just adds that touch too. So here is another item you just can't live without. Let me see if I have, I think that might be it. Let me see if I did set 6 things. First one was the embossing kit. And then I used this to show how you could tie a ribbon. And then I showed you these. And I showed you the puff paint and the jingle bells. So let me see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I thought maybe I had one more item. Oh, the masking paper that I used to do these flowers was the other thing that I had to show you. So there you are, 6 items that you can't live without. I hope you have a great and wonderful afternoon, and thank you so much for joining me. And go ahead and order some of these and check them out and let me know what you make with them. Bye. Have a blessed day.